Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, dear. Okay, everyone, let's start our topic now. So we can wait. So now we can work onto this sections. We can work into this sections, right? Mohammed, Amit.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Into this section, let's start our discussion with layer 2 firewall first. Okay. Let's start our discussion with layer 2 firewall. Wait. So any idea about layer 2 firewall box, Mohammed, Amit?
No, sir.
Layer 2 firewall. The firewall act like a switch.
Act
Okay.
like a switch. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
layer 2 switch.
okay. Why we are
Um,
using this concept? Because we have L3 firewall box, right? Or you can say NAT mode firewall, Mohammed.
okay.
So why we are using this layer 2 firewall concept, or you can say transparent firewall. Why we are using L2 firewall box? Because you can see, for example, everyone, if I have L3 firewall box, if I have L3 firewall box, so these interfaces are what? These interfaces are L3 interfaces. If this complete box is L3 firewall box, so these interfaces are L3 interfaces. We can configure IP address here, right? We can configure IP address onto these interfaces. We can configure routing. We can configure NAT. We can configure VPN option. Yes or no?
Yes.
And it's a next generation firewall features, Amit. It's a next generation firewall, Mohammed, so we can utilize next generation firewall features like security profiles you can use. So how to work with layer 3 firewall box? Now you guys are familiar, right? You guys are
Yes.
familiar with this. Remember NAT concept,
Yes,
routing
sir.
Yes.
implementation, interface configuration. So you guys are familiar with layer 3 firewall. So
Yes.
on layer 3 firewall box, we can configure routing, NAT, VPN. It's a complete firewall box. So we can utilize next generation firewall features. But in case if I'm using this firewall box, in case if I'm using this firewall box as a layer 2 box, for example, if this complete box is a layer 2 firewall box, so these interfaces are called L2 interfaces. It's not a switch port, Amit, okay?
Yes, sir.
Not a switch port, everyone. Mohammed,
Okay.
not a switch port. It's a L2 interface. It means you cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. Okay, you cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. You cannot configure routing onto this firewall box. You cannot configure NAT. You cannot configure VPN. No, but it's a firewall. It's a complete next generation firewall. So you can utilize firewall feature here. So we have limitations, right, everyone? With
Yes, sir.
layer 2 firewall, or you can say with transparent firewall, we have limitations. So the point is, in this scenario, we are using our firewall box as a layer 2 firewall box because with layer 3 firewall box, we have great feature. With layer 3 firewall box, we can connect with internet, we can configure NAT for translation, we can terminate our VPN connections like site to site, remote access, we can configure. So we have limitations with layer 2 firewall box. So in this scenario, we are using our firewall box as a layer 2 firewall box. So let's discuss a scenario now. Okay, let's discuss scenario. Okay, so here I have a firewall box. Okay, wait. Here I have a routing switching topology, everyone. Okay, I'm working in an existing routing switching topology. For example, here we have a router. This router is connected with internet side, and this portion is LAN portion, LAN side network, LAN side network. So this is existing routing switching topology, Mohammed. Okay.
Okay.
Into this topology, everything's working fine. Okay. This inside machine is sending his traffic to the switch. switch is forwarding traffic to the gateway, and based on his routing table, router is forwarding traffic to the outside. Everything is working fine. So now into this existing routing switching topology, in case if you want to deploy a firewall box now, okay, for example, you want to filter your network, Amit, you want to
Yes.
filter your network, you want to utilize firewall features here. So into this existing scenario, you can see here we have LAN subnet. This portion is what? LAN subnet, and this portion is WAN subnet. So into this existing scenario, if I'm using my firewall box, if I'm trying to deploy my firewall box here, okay, this box, if I'm using as a L3 firewall box, for example, this box is a L3 firewall box. So these interfaces are L3 interfaces. So each interface is participating in different subnet because it's L3 firewall box. So it's like a router, right, Amit?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
It's like a router. So each interfaces are participating in different subnet. My point is they are participating in different subnet. So now, yes, now your existing network, my point is your existing network, now you need to divide. Okay, see, you need to change your existing IP address scheme. Okay, now see your single subnet. Now your single subnet is divided into two different subnet. See, yes or no, everyone?
Yes. Sir. Yes. Sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Amit,
Yes,
you
sir.
need to change your existing IP address scheme. No problem. If you want to deploy your firewall box as a L3 firewall box, you can change IP address scheme. You can change, you can use, you can utilize. Okay, you can deploy your firewall box as a layer 3 firewall box. No problem. But you have to change your existing IP address scheme. But in case, if I don't want to change anything into this existing scenario, I don't want to change any IP address scheme into this existing topology, but I want to deploy a complete next generation firewall. So yes, you can deploy your firewall box as a layer 2 firewall. You can deploy as a layer 2, or you can say transparent firewall. So if this firewall box is a layer 2 firewall box, yes, these are what? Layer 2 interfaces. It means no need to configure IP address. So again, you have a single subnet. Clear my point?
Yes. Yes.
It's a firewall. So if you want to allow traffic from port number 2 to port number 1, so remember our policy configuration, Amit?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everyone remember our policy configuration? Policy configuration, we can define our incoming interface, our outgoing interface to allow our traffic. So what firewall is doing here? Firewall is just receiving traffic on one interface and sending to another interface. That's it. Clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So no need to change. So my point is in live network, where we can deploy our layer 2 firewall box or where we can deploy our transparent firewall box. So in a live network where I don't want to change anything, in a live network, if I want to deploy a firewall box, so yes, we can use layer 2 firewall features mode option, or we can go with transparent firewall. It's a complete firewall box, everyone. So you can create your security profile, you can attach with your policy. It's the same. But we have limitation with layer 2. We cannot connect this firewall box with internet directly. Okay, we cannot configure NAT, we cannot configure VPN, but it's a firewall box. Clear now?
Yes.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
It's clear.
Clear now the scenario. So see, so most of the time, layer 2 firewall we are using in existing data center network. Okay, in existing data center network, if you want to deploy a firewall box now, so in data center is what? It's a complex network. So I don't want to change any IP address scheme because it's working. Okay, it's existing network. So you can deploy. You want to use your firewall features, you can deploy your firewall box as a layer 2 firewall box. So no need to change any IP address scheme. And you can deploy, you can use your firewall features. So this is what layer 2 firewall box, or you can say transparent firewall. So now I told you we cannot configure IP address on any interface. For example, this box, if I'm using as a layer 2 firewall, so we cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. These are the data interfaces, and we cannot configure IP address here. So if we cannot configure IP address, for example, this is port number 1, port number 2, port number 3. So if we cannot configure IP address on port number 1, so in case if I want to access this complete firewall box from this management PC, okay, I want to access through graphical page, or I want to access through CLI option, then I need IP address, right, Amit, Mohammed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
If you connect your port number 1, if you connect your port number 1 with this management PC, okay, so you can see this is layer 2 firewall box, so you cannot configure IP address here. So how we can access? How we can access our transparent firewall box? See, for example, if you remember in CCNA, in CCNA routing and switching, if I have a layer 2 switch, everyone,
Yeah.
if I have a layer 2 switch, and if I want to access this layer 2 switch from this machine, for example, this machine is connected with fast Ethernet 0/22. So I want to access this complete switch from this management PC through telnet. So what we can do, Amit?
We directly go to the telnet.
Sorry?
With the help of putty, we can access.
No. With the help of putty, we can access, but how we can access? Putty is an application, okay? Onto this layer 2 switch, you cannot configure IP address here, right, Mohammed?
Yes, yes,
Because
sir.
it's a L2 switch. We cannot
Hmm.
configure IP address on any interfaces. So in case, my question is, if I want to access this layer 2 switch from this management PC through telnet service, so how we can access?
VLAN, sir. VLAN IP.
Thank you so much. Yes, we
Yeah.
can configure IP address on VLAN. Remember, we have default VLAN, VLAN 1, everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Mohammed, we have a default
Yeah.
VLAN on switch. It's called VLAN 1, and all the
Oh,
interfaces,
VLAN.
they are participating in VLAN 1. Okay, so what you can do, you can configure IP address on VLAN. Okay, you can configure IP address on VLAN. Okay, so from this management PC, you can access this switch through VLAN IP. So same type of concept we have here in layer 2 firewall box. Here we can configure management IP. What we can do, we can configure management IP, just like a VLAN, Amit, Mohammed. Okay,
Okay. All right.
we can configure management IP. Okay, so let's go with implementation. Rest we can discuss here. Wait,
The SVI.
no, it's not SVI, Mohammed. Okay,
Oh,
it's
okay.
management. In Fortinet, it's a management IP concept.
Okay.
Give me some time, okay? I will show you. SVI interface we can configure on L3. Okay.
Let's see.
On
Yeah,
L3
yeah.
switch. L3 switch. Wait. Okay, so into this topology, this R2 is a public facing router. Okay, this router 2 is a public facing router. And this portion, everyone, this portion is a LAN portion. Clear now my point?
Yes.
So in between this LAN machine and this gateway, we are using this firewall box as a layer 2 firewall. Amit, clear this task topology? Mohammed?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's try to configure, let's try to access this firewall box first. Okay, so if we have single subnet, this portion is what? same subnet. This LAN portion is same subnet. So I'm using IP address here. I'm using IP address into this LAN 200.200.200.network/24. It's a LAN subnet. Default mode onto this firewall box is a NAT mode. Okay, let me show you this default mode option.
Is it possible to do the same lab in the AV also? This lab.
You can do this, no problem.
Okay.
I will share this image. It's a 6.2. You can
Okay.
perform this lab on 6.2 FortiOS version. Okay, Mohammed.
All right.
After
Okay.
this session, I will share this image. You can upload in EVNG.
Okay. Thank you.
Now let's try to log in into this FortiGate firewall box. For username admin, password we can set. Config system interface. I'm trying to edit port number 1 because port number 1 we are using as a management port here. So 255.190/24 set allows services you can allow here. Now let's try to access. So we can configure IP address on interfaces. It means it's a L3 firewall box, right, Amit? Mohammed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's L3 firewall box. Let's verify other information also. Let's verify other information into this layer 3 firewall box. So you can see everyone, if you click on, okay, first you can verify on dashboard. First you can verify firewall mode. So NAT mode firewall box. So if you click on network, click on interface. So you can select any interface, you can click on edit and you can see you can configure IP address here. You can configure IP address and you can configure routing options. See, static, advanced routing options, option parameter, advanced. Next option we have, for example, you can go with VPN. Okay, let's configure policy. IPv4 policy, you can click on create new. You can click on create new and you can see you can define all the parameters. Action is accept and you can see into this policy what we can add. NAT option, right everyone?
Yes.
Into this
Yes,
policy,
sir.
we add our NAT
Yes.
option. Now you can click on VPN tab. You can click on VPN tab. Here we have a dedicated tab for VPN implementation. So routing you can configure, NAT you can configure, VPN you can configure. Okay, because this firewall box is a layer 3 firewall box. So if you want to change this mode, you can go in CLI command. Okay, you can go in CLI option. Config system settings. Command is config system setting. Set OP mode. Set OP mode. You can type question mark. You can see here we have option NAT or transparent. So I want to use this box as a transparent. So you can select transparent. You can press enter. Now we can configure management IP here. See, set management IP. So 192.168.255.175, I'm using /24. So if you access from any port, everyone, for example, if I have a layer 2 switch, so if I'm trying to access from this management PC, you can configure IP address on VLAN, right? Everyone,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes, sir.
can configure IP address on VLAN 1, for example, and these interfaces are participating in VLAN 1. So you can connect with any port, Mohammed, okay? You can connect
Yes, sir.
with any port and you can access with VLAN IP. Same concept we have here. We can connect with any port. Right now I'm using port number 1. You can connect with any port and you can access through with this IP address 192.168.255.175. Now this firewall box, everyone, this firewall box is a layer 2 firewall box, right?
Yes.
We cannot connect this box with internet directly. So in case, because it's a firewall box, it's a next generation firewall. So in case, if I want to utilize next generation firewall features, so we need to download latest signatures, right? So we can define, see, this firewall box, we cannot connect directly with internet. So, but we can define gateway, right? Like other machine, we need to define gateway onto this firewall box. Clear my point? Why we need gateway information?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
With gateway, this firewall can create connectivity with FortiGuard server to download latest signature update. So this firewall box, we cannot connect with internet directly. So we can define gateway information. Command is set gateway. Now gateway, for example, gateway is 192.168.255.1. Now you can save your configuration. You can type end command. If you type end command, you can see you are getting a message. You are getting a message changing to TP mode. Changing to transparent mode. So now you can see you cannot access this firewall box. See, if you refresh this page, see, now you cannot access this firewall box with this IP address because IP address is changed now. IP address now we are using 192.168.255.175, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
But this
175.
IP is it dummy IP? This one, dummy one, or
Sorry,
this IP address 192.168.255.17? Is it dummy IP address or?
it's a management IP. Okay,
Ah, okay.
it's a management pipe, just like a VLAN. Okay, now you can access with any port. You can access with any port. You can connect your management PC with any port. And if you want to access this layer 2 firewall box, you can access with this IP. Now, this is the IP for this complete box. Mohammed.
The
This is
default
the
IP
IP.
address.
Sorry.
Is it default one or default for
See,
each?
192.168.255.175 we are using. See, if you remember our configuration, we are using 75 here. See,
Okay. Mhm.
Mohammed.
But I remember last time you used 192.168.0.190. You remember?
190, yes. Now here we are using 255. You can use any IP address, Mohammed. In your topology, you can use any IP address. Okay.
Okay.
This is separate topology. This topology is on GNS. Okay. So here I'm using 192.168.255 series.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. I got
Okay.
you.
In
Thank you.
EVNG, you can use any other series. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we can access this firewall box with management IP. For example, here into this topology, we are using 192.168.255.175. Now click on later. Now everyone, you can verify your firewall mode. Let's verify firewall mode here. So firewall mode is a transparent mode. It's a transparent mode firewall box. Now if you click on network tab, you can see now you cannot configure. See, you cannot configure static and advanced routing options. See, options are not available. Moment. See?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now if you select interface tab, if you select any port, for example, port number 2, it's a complete firewall box, everyone. But see, if you select port number 2, you cannot configure IP address here. See, you cannot configure IP address. If you click on policy and object, if you click on IPv4 policy, if I'm creating a rule to allow my traffic, so you can see you can define all the parameters. You can define all the parameters. You can take an action, but you can see NAT option is not available because it's a layer 2 firewall box. You cannot configure NAT. And see, what about VPN? VPN tab is not available. Amit, clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But it's a firewall. It's a complete next generation firewall. See, security profile, it's a common concept for L2, L3. User and devices, it's a common concept for L2, L3. Login report is a part of L2, L3. So it's a firewall. Okay, if you want to allow traffic, let's configure into this topology. Let's configure IP address. Wait. Let's configure IP address on R1 and on R2 router. On R1, I'm using what? Wait. On R1, IP address is 200, 200, 200, 10, 255, 255, 255.0, no shutdown. Now you can go on R2. Same series of IP address I'm using because it's a LAN subnet. So 0/0 interface 200, 200, 200.11 I'm using here. Same series of IP. Same series of IP. So from inside router, if I'm trying to ping gateway 200, 211. So I'm not getting reply. Everyone see. I'm not getting reply because in between R1 and gateway, we have a firewall device. Okay, right? We have a firewall appliance, and this box we are using as a layer 2 firewall. So to allow our traffic, you can configure your policy. You can configure your policy. So let's go into the network interface tab. You can go in port number 2. You can give an alias name only. See, alias is what? LAN, for example. LAN. You can click on OK. Port number 3. We are using as a WAN port. WAN port. You can click on OK. Now to allow our traffic, now we can create our policy, IPv4 policy. So rule 1, incoming interface, you can define outgoing interface, source, I am using any, okay, destination, I'm using any, services, I'm using any, and now action is allow, log all sessions, action allow. Action allow, so you can try to verify your connectivity this time. You can try to verify your connectivity this time. So 200, 200, 200.11, I'm trying to ping, and this time traffic is traveling. Clear now, everyone?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah.
This is layer 2 firewall, everyone. Now, security profile, you are familiar with security profile concept. You can create your security profile. You can attach with your policy, no problem. User and devices, you can create user account, group account, you can create log and report, you can verify. So it's a complete firewall box. This is our topic, small concept. Layer 2 firewall, or you can say transparent firewall. Amit, clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes, clear. Yeah, this one's clear.
Okay, now we can focus on next topic. Let's start firewall authentication concept. This concept here. This will take time. Let's start firewall authentication concept. Can we take a break for 10 minutes? Then we can start a new topic.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
10-minute break. Okay, please turn off your mic.
Okay, sir.
Let's take a break. 10 minutes break. Okay. Everyone, can you hear me? Amit, Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Let's continue our topic now. Amit, can you hear me? So I hope it's clear how to work with layer 2 firewall box, everyone, I think.
Yes, clear.
Now we
Yes.
can focus on firewall authentication concept, you can say, or user ID concept. So what is firewall authentication? Why we are using it? Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So topic is what? Firewall authentication. So why we need firewall authentication concept? So remember our policy configuration, everyone. If you remember your firewall policy configuration, for example, here we have a FortiGate firewall box. So as per our rule, firewall policy configuration rule, we can define our incoming interface. For example, this is port number 2, this is port number 1. So we can define our incoming interface, then outgoing interface, then source IP, we can define destination IP, then services, right? Then we can take an action. For example, I want to allow my traffic. So incoming interface, outgoing interface, and source IP. For example, source IP is 200.200.200.0/24, and destination is any. Mohammed, Amit.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So as for this rule, as for example, this rule name is, rule 1. So as per this rule, traffic is traveling this inside machine, for example, 200.200.200.55. So this machine can travel to outside, okay? Because 200.200.0/24 is allowed. So this inside machine can travel to outside, no problem. Can establish his connection. Traffic is traveling. But now within this live session, if this inside machine is trying to download malicious information, Mohammed, okay, or he's trying to access any application. So if you are trying to verify the log information, I want to verify the activity. So I can verify the log information. And if I'm trying to verify logs, all the logs related with this rule number 1. So in logs, what we can get? We can get IP address information. We can get source IP address information. We can get destination IP address information, right?
Yes.
Amit Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
If you
Yes,
are
sir.
trying to verify your log information, you can get IP address. My point is what? You can get IP address information. You can verify, but the point is here you don't have full visibility. You don't have full visibility. Okay, you have log, okay, but you can only see IP address information. You don't know which user account. You don't have full visibility right now. Okay, you don't know which user account. Maybe onto this machine, multiple users are working in different time, Mohammed, right?
Yes.
Because it's a big environment. It's a domain environment. Okay, in our topology, it's a domain environment. For example, company name is abc.com. It's a domain environment. So we have lots of users. But here in policy, you are working with IP address. So you can see only IP address information. You don't know which user account is trying to access this malicious application, which user account is trying to click onto this malicious link, or which user account is trying to access this malicious file. You don't know. You don't have full visibility.
Yes.
So for full visibility, we can go with firewall authentication, or you can say user ID concept. For full visibility, what we can do, we can create a user account, or you can say we can add a user account into our policy. So for user account, there is a 2 option. For user account, you have 2 options. You can create a user account in local database or in local storage. So if you are working in a small network, okay, so yes, you can create all user account in FortiGate Firewall local database. And these user accounts you can attach into your policy configuration. For example, here I can add source user information. So source user is user one, for example. So this time firewall will check user account information with IP address. It will check user account information. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Amit, so you have
Yes,
Mohammed,
sir.
you have full visibility. So the first option, you can create user account in local database, or in case if you are working in a big network. So yes, you have a remote authentication server. Remote authentication servers like Radius. Maybe in your network you are working with Radius server, or maybe you have TechX, or you have LDAP, or you can say Microsoft Active Directory server, LDAP server. So if you have big environment, for example, 200 users, 500 users, so yes, you have a centralized database for user account, for group accounts. So what you can do as a firewall administrator, see, you don't know how to configure Radius, TechX, or LDAP. This is not your task, Mohammed. Amit,
Okay. Oh,
Yes, sir.
this is not our task. Okay, for Radius, for TechX, for LDAP configuration, we have separate administrator. We have separate administrator for LDAP, TechX, on Radius configuration. But you as a firewall administrator, what you can do? You can integrate your firewall box. You can integrate your firewall box with remote authentication servers. For example, in your network, you have LDAP. So first you can verify your connectivity and you can integrate your firewall box with LDAP server. Clear now my point?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone. So for full visibility, we can go with firewall authentication concept. So now in remote authentication, user accounts are available in remote database. In a small network, yes, you can go with local database, no problem. Okay, so let me show you in firewall box. Wait. Okay, everyone, can you hear me? Amit,
Yes, sir.
Mohammed?
Yes.
See, so the first practical is what? First practical is we can add our user account information into the policy. This is the first practical. We can create user account in local database, or you can integrate your firewall box with LDAP server. Then you can attach user account into the policy. This is the first practical. Now, in case if I have some guest user, Amit, okay, in my network, I have some guest user. This is a switch, for example. I have some guest user. So I cannot add these guest user into into our domain environment. Okay, for example, you are working with Microsoft Active Directory. You are working with Microsoft Active Directory server. So I cannot add these machines with Active Directory server. Clear my point? Because these are what guest users, right? They are not permanent users. Mohammed, Amit.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I want to provide network resources, yeah, internet services for these guest users, so what I can do, I can go with a concept here in FortiGate. It's called captive portal. So for guest user, you can go with a concept captive portal. Captive portal. So in captive portal, what we can do, we can enable captive portal feature here on LAN port number 2. So if any machine, for example, this guest user, he can connect his cable, and now he's trying to initiate his traffic. For example, he's trying to access, he's getting IP address, okay? He's getting IP address from this DSCP service. Everything is okay. Now he's trying to initiate his connection. This traffic will go and hit onto this port number 2. This traffic will hit on port number 2. So captive portal feature is enabled on port number 2. What you can do? You can enable captive portal feature on port number 2. So this time, if this inside machine is trying to hit onto this port number 2, firewall will provide him a captive portal page. Firewall will provide him a captive portal page, HTML page, you can say. So this guest user, he need to authenticate first with his username and password. So username and password you can provide, okay? Mohammed, Amit, as a
Okay.
firewall administrator, you can create some user account for guest users. Clear my point, Amit, Mohammed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You can create some user account. You can create some guest user account in local database, for example, and you can tell to your guest user, please try to log in. Okay, you want to access network resources, no problem. Please try to log in with a user 5, and this is the password. So this guest user can try to log in. If he is successfully authenticated by captive portal, then firewall will check. If he is successfully authenticated, then firewall will check firewall policy for this user account. If there's a policy available, then yes, traffic is traveling now through the firewall box. So my point is you can monitor your guest user and your existing users. Clear now, my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here, let's go with this option. You can see in firewall, wait, config system interface, edit port number 1, set mode static, set IP address 1.190/24, set allows HTTP, HTTPS, ping and SSH. Now let's try to access 192.168, 1.190. Let's configure interfaces first. Okay, port number 2 we are using as a WAN port. So port number 1 is a WAN port, alias WAN. Port number 2, LAN port, IP address as per our topology 200, 200. 200.1/24 ping service. You can click on OK. You can configure a default route. You can configure a default route pointing to the gateway. Click on OK. Now, let's try to create our policy, everyone. Firewall policy, create new. Firewall policy, create new. So you can define all the parameters. Amit Mohammed C, incoming interface, outgoing interface, and in source. Yes, you can add your IP address object. And with IP address object, you can attach what?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mohammed Amit, you can add your user account information. So for user account, here we have a dedicated tab. For user account, here we have a dedicated tab. It's called user and authentication. So let's create user account here. You can click on user definition. You can click on create new. If you click on create new, you can see this option is selected by default, local user. It means local database. If you want to create user account in local database, you can go with local user option. In case if you have remote authentication server like Radius, TechX, and LDAP, so you can select these options. Right now, for testing, I'm creating user account in local database. You can click on next. You can create user account, for example, user5 password you can define. Next, submit. Create new. Let's create one more user account, local user. It means in local database. User6 password 123. You can click on next, submit. So we have user5. You can see here we have user5 and user6, and type is what? Local. It means these user accounts are available in local database. You can create group account, everyone. You can click on user group. You can create group account here. For example, I want to combine multiple users. Okay, for example, if we have 5 users in marketing groups, 5 users in sales group, 5 users in HR group. So you can create and you can create user account and you can add these users in group. For example, I'm creating group account. For example, I'm creating group account sales group, or you can say local hyphen GRP. So you can see everyone, Amit Mohammed, you can see if I'm trying to create my group option, see group. So you can see these 3 options are available, right?
Yes.
Amit
Yes, sir.
Mohammed,
Yes, sir.
these options
Yes,
are
sir.
available. Only these options, see name, type, and members.
Mhm.
If I'm creating group right now, only these 3 options are available. So you can create group, you can select your type, and you can add your members. So type is what? I'm creating firewall, add firewall users, members. Yes, member is what? User5, user6. You can add. You can click on OK. So I have local group. Into this group, we have 2 user account, user5 and 6. No problem. You can configure your policy. You can click on create new. You can create your rule. For example, I'm creating a rule 1. Incoming interface, outgoing interface, source. You can attach your source information, source IP address object information. In case if I'm not adding any IP address, if I'm trying to add a user account information into this policy, you can see user5, Mohammed, Amit, user5 or user6,
Yes,
you
sir.
can add.
Okay.
But you can see everyone, if I'm trying to add only user account, if I'm trying to add only user account, you can see we are getting a message. One address, address group, external resources or internet services is required, because this user will log in, okay, from PC, and PC need IP address. So you need to attach minimum one IP address with user account. So you can add specific user here, user 5, 6, or you can attach your group account information. So IP address object right now, any user5, user6, you can attach destination, any services, any action is allowed. You can click on OK. Clear now my point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Amit Mohammed,
Yes, sir.
In case,
Yeah.
in my network, if I have any remote authentication server, for example, here we have a firewall box, and this portion is a LAN portion. This side we have LAN machine and remote authentication server like LDAP or Radius or LDAP, for example. Let's go with Radius first. So in case if I have Radius server, so for Radius server, these devices, switch, firewall, routers, these devices are called a Radius client. Okay, this is what Radius server. So on Radius server, what we have IP address, for example, 200 200.200.200.66 or 60. Okay, this is what IP address, Radius server IP address. So what you can do, see, Radius server administrator, Amit Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Radius server administrator will create entry for all Radius client. So into this small topology, your firewall is what? Mohammed. It's a Radius client, okay?
Right. Yes.
So Radius server administrator will create entry for all Radius client. So it will create an entry for this firewall box. So firewall IP address is what? 200.200.200.1. So it will create an entry for this 200.200.200.1. And when this Radius server administrator will create entry for this Radius client, so he will define a secret key. He will define a secret key. Secret key, for example, CCNP. So same secret key you need, okay? As a firewall administrator, you need same secret key. Okay, if you are configuring Radius entry onto this Radius client, you need same key. Or you can say, everyone, you can say, to create a relationship in between Radius client and Radius server, what we need?
Secret key.
Secret key. Clear my point?
Yes.
Secret key. So you can see here, you can click on user and authentication. You can click on Radius server. For example, I want to create Radius server entry. Okay, Radius server entry. So you can click on Radius server. It's a very simple task, everyone. First, you can verify your connectivity with Radius server. Okay, you can verify your connectivity. If you have a connectivity, so you can click on create new. You can click on create new. You can give a name, for example, remote server, remote SRV. Now you can define your Radius server IP address. So Radius IP address is 200.200.60 and see. Remember secret key discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So when you are creating entry for Radius server administrator, you need same secret key. So secret key, for example, CCNP, for example, okay, CCNP. And now you can test your connectivity from here. You can click on OK. You can click on OK. You can create your entry. And now this time, once you create your entry, this time, if I'm creating user group this time, so you can see we have a new option here, right? Previously, remember, we have three options: name, type, and members. Amit
Yes.
Mohammed. Now we have a new
Yes,
tab.
sir.
See, remote group, right? Remote
Yes.
group. So you can give a name. For example, you can give a name. It's called remote-users. Now I'm not adding any local users here. See, you can click on plus sign. You can add user information. I'm not adding local user information here. I'm adding what? Remote group, because user accounts are available in remote database. So you can click on add. You can see remote server. So right now we have only Radius server entry, right, Amit Mohammed?
Yes, sir.
If you have LDAP server entry, so you can get all server information here. So right now we have Radius server entry, remote server. You can click on OK. You can click on OK. So now you can go into your policy. You can go into the policy. In policy, this time I'm not using, for example, this time I'm not using local user account. if you want to add your remote server, so user, what? Remote users. So your firewall will match user information from this remote servers. Clear now my point?
Yes, sir.
Mohammed, Amit.
Yes, sir.
So this is the option, everyone, okay? This is the first practical. What you can do, you can create a user account in local database, or you can integrate your firewall box with remote authentication server. See, in our testing scenario, I'm using local database, okay? You need a user account, okay? It is available in local database or it is available in remote database, doesn't matter, okay? In big scenario, yes, you have a remote authentication server. In small network, you can create user account in local database. So now this is the first practical. Clear now my point, Mohammed?
It's clear. Yes, clear.
Amit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now for guest user, what we can do? We can enable captive portal. For example, see, this inside machine is a guest machine, okay? So what you can do, you can click on network tab, you can click on interface, and you can enable captive portal feature. See, you can go on LAN port number 2. You can go on LAN port number 2, and into this interface configuration, you can see security mode option. You can enable, and you can see captive portal option, captive portal. So here we have default captive portal page. So authentication portal is what? I'm using local. Mohammed, Amit.
Yes, yes.
Into this FortiGate firewall box, everyone, we have default captive portal page. So you can go with this default captive portal page. But in case in your network, you have a separate HTML page, separate, authentication portal page where you are using company logo, okay, or you are trying to use any other messages. So you can go with external captive portal page. You can select and you can define your full path. Right now, I'm going with local. It means I have predefined authentication portal page. I have predefined portal page, captive portal page. So I'm going with authentication portal local. User access. So you can restrict to a specific group. For example, if traffic is coming from a specific user, initiated from a specific user, I want to restrict. Right now, I'm going with anyone. You can exempt your source, everyone. Mohammed, Amit, for example, in my LAN side, I have fax machine. In LAN side, I have printer. Everyone.
Yes.
So in fax machine, in printer, I cannot log in with username and password. Yes or no?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So you can exempt. For example, if traffic is coming from a specific source, no need to provide any captive portal page. Or you can exempt your destination or service. For example, if inside machine is trying to access particular destination, trying to access particular service, no need to provide captive portal page. So you can exempt your source, you can exempt your destination or services. Right now, I'm not exempting anything. You can just click on OK. So captive portal feature is enabled on LAN port number 2. So this time, if this inside machine, everyone, if this inside machine is trying to access anything, but before this, before initiate our traffic, let's go into the firewall box, CLI option. Here I'm trying to log in. Let's go into the firewall policy. So config firewall policy. And here we have a policy ID 1. Remember our policy configuration?
Yes.
Policy ID 1. So you can go into your policy ID and here you can enable disclaimer page. What is disclaimer page? I will tell you, okay? Give me some time. I will tell you about this disclaimer page. But what you can do, you can enable disclaimer, and you can enable disclaimer page only with CLI command. You cannot enable with graphical page. Mohammed, Amit, clear? So you can go into your policy, you can enable disclaimer page here. What is disclaimer? Just like an agreement, okay? I will show you. Now I'm trying to initiate my traffic from inside machine. I'm trying to initiate my traffic. I'm trying to access anything like msn.com. Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Mohammed, see?
Yes, yes, sir.
So I'm trying to access msn.com or you can try to access any other thing, for example, Facebook. So if I'm trying to access network resources, or if I'm trying to access through the firewall box, I need to authenticate first, okay? Because this firewall, when traffic will go and hit on port number 2, firewall will provide him a captive portal page. Wait, it's working slow. Everyone can hear me? Amit, Mohammed, see?
Yes, sir.
We are
Yes.
getting this page, authentication required. So we have 2 user accounts, remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, wait, user 5 and user 6. So I'm trying to log in with user 5. So in local database, we have 2 user account. We are using these 2 user account into our policy in our testing. So I'm trying to log in with user number 5. You can click on continue. So when this inside machine authenticate successfully by FortiGate firewall box, so you will get a disclaimer page, or you can say you will get an agreement something. Okay, agreement something. For example, you cannot access illegal websites. You cannot access illegal or malicious file or application. Like he will get an agreement. Please wait, it's working slow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, everyone, can you hear me? Amit, Mohammed, see,
Oh,
this
yes,
inside
sir.
machine is getting a disclaimer page, like agreement something. So if you
okay.
are successfully authenticated by FortiGate firewall box, after that you can get this agreement page. So after successful authentication, if you click on no, I decline. After successful authentication, if you click on no, I decline, so you cannot access network resources. See, if I will click on no, I decline after authentication, so I cannot access network resources. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have to click on yes, I agree. Wait. So if you click on no, I decline, see, I cannot access. Wait, it's working very slow. Everyone, see,
Yes.
return to disclaimer. You can click here. Okay, so you can click on yes, I agree. If you click on yes, I agree. So now you can access. See, for example, if I'm trying to access anything this time, google.com, or if I'm trying to access facebook.com. So this time traffic is traveling. See, after authentication, Amit, Mohammed.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this
Yeah.
inside machine can access, but you as a firewall administrator, if you want to verify all authenticated user information, so you can click on dashboard, you can click on user and devices, you can click on firewall users, and here you can get all authenticated user information. See, user 5, remember?
Yes.
Yes,
User
sir.
5 from this machine 245, duration is 5 minutes 55 second, traffic volume you can verify. So this machine now can access, okay, you can access anything now. You can access anything, but now, for example, you as an administrator, if you want to de-authenticate, for example, this is guest user, okay, this is guest user. So after 2 hours, what do you think? I want to de-authenticate. So you can click on okay. So if this inside machine is trying to refresh any page, for example, or let's try to initiate traffic again. Okay. If this inside machine is trying to access anything again this time, so you need to authenticate again. Clear now my point?
Yes.
You need to authenticate. For example, I'm trying to access google.com. I'm trying to access google.com. So this inside machine will get a captive portal page. Wait. See, captive portal page. So user is user 5, password 123. Yes, I agree. See, Amit, Mohammed.
Yes.
Yes,
If
sir.
you refresh this page, so you can get your user information. Now in logs, if you go in log and report in forward traffic, or you can go in event, you can click on user events. You can get user event for information. See, user 5 is authentication login. You can go in forward traffic. You can verify detail information, user account information with IP address. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, clear.
This is our topic, firewall authentication. Clear now, Amit? Mohammed, for
Yes,
you?
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Simple
clear.
topic, okay? It's not complicated. So firewall authentication concept is done, okay? Log and layer 2 firewall. See, in firewall authentication, we can discuss one more concept. How to integrate, okay? How to integrate firewall device with LDAP server. Okay? This concept I will discuss in next class. Okay, Amit?
Okay, sir.
Mohammed?
Oh, thank you.
Amit, Mohammed.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
continue. See, its topic is complete, but I want to tell you how to integrate in case in your network you have Microsoft Active Directory and you have a connectivity and you want to integrate your firewall box with Microsoft Active Directory server, or you can say with ALTO server. We'll discuss. I will show you with practical. I will show you. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
With practical, I will show you. Okay. So I can create one Active Directory server first. After that, we will discuss how to integrate. Clear now? My point?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
sir.
Clear.
Amit?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is our topic, firewall authentication and layer 2 firewall box. And see,
Alright.
our timing is same. Okay, 12 p.m. you can connect.
Okay.
Sure,
All
sir.
right.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Take care, guys.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Let's
Bye.
continue our
See you.
topic in next class. Bye, everyone. Bye.
All right. See you.
Bye.
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 Bye.